What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon NBA DFS video. It is Tuesday. It is March 12th, and we are back with a 7-game main slate, which we are going to cover. If you've never been here before, hopefully you're in for a treat. If you like anything we talk about, if it's helpful, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We have 2 giveaways every single day. 50 likes on a video and you leave a comment, you are a YouTube subscriber, you have a chance to win a free week of DFS content. 100 likes is a free month. 125 likes is a chance to win a free year, and 150 or more likes is a chance to win a lifetime pass. On top of that, you can win second every single time. There's 2 ways to win each day. Like the video, be a subscriber, and tell me who is going to score the most amount of DraftKings fantasy points and how many fantasy points will they score. It's closest without going over. If you get that, you will win a free week of DFS content. If you get it exactly correct, you will win a free year of content. On top of that, the website's FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. We have 2 giveaways right now, which were those. Then we have 2 coupon codes. We have 2 left on each one. So, FTA Plus, $24.99 a month, sports betting plus DFS. Yearly pass is normally $199. Use the promo code MLBVIP. You're going to get a year pass for $75 instead of $199. Use the promo code VIP customer. You're going to get a year instead of $199 for $99, and we're going to add an extra year for free. So those 2 coupon codes are still valid, active, and ready to go. The sports we do: MLB, NASCAR, NBA, NFL, PGA. If you guys want MMA, we might possibly bring back MMA. We're just looking for other things. Maybe League of Legends. Like, people, I want to know what you guys play. So, we almost had a winner yesterday. So, Luka was leading all of the DK scoring until like the 4th quarter of the Nuggets game, where then Jokic came out of nowhere, had 94.25 or something like that. So, no one had Jokic at all for scoring the highest yesterday, and he absolutely dominated it. So, that being said, 2 ways to win. If you hit the like button on this video, help us out. We had 45 likes on the video, so we almost had another giveaway. So, I know we can get to 50. We got to 50 every single day with MLB, and hopefully it's the same way. I'm trying to give you guys free content. So, what we're going to do, if you've never been here before, we're going to go over the Vegas odds. We're going to look at the games. Then, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you my top 5 at each position for tournament plays. And then we're going to build a lineup. We're going to build a lineup on DraftKings and Fanduel using our NBA points allowed by position tool. But I did want to show you what our sports betting has been doing before we get started. So there's a lot of green. Are we perfect? No, we're not Vegas Dave. He never loses a game. He's 170,000-0. But these are the picks that are put out there. You can see a couple of red, but there's a ton of green, and it goes back all the way through. So I'm not telling you we're perfect. It's gambling, but it's part of it. So here you go. You can look at it. What I do need to do is I need to tally it up. I need to tally it up for the green. I was doing it, and then I fell behind. So what I need to do is tally it up and give you guys like a daily tally. But you can check it out. These are the plays that we use every single day. There's anywhere between 1, 2 to, what is it? Like, usually, is 7 the most we've done? Yeah, 7's the most we've done all year. So just an FYI. So there's been a ton of green. There's 1 or 2 red in them. We've had a couple of days where it's been, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2 and 5. But again, it's gambling. We've been on a roll lately. If you can see, the last 3 or 4 days, we've been pretty good. So very, very excited what we have to offer. Definitely check us out. Follow us on Twitter at @advisors_team. I want to get some followers over there. So yeah, that's kind of what we're talking about. So if you've never been here before, hopefully you stick around, you subscribe if you have not, hit the bell notification so you know exactly when these videos go live. So kind of looking at the games, people have been asking, and they've asked before, what is the cutoff, like in general, for games with over-unders? And it's normally about 220. there are those one-offs with players that are in good spots. So just kind of looking at this, there's no huge blowout potential today as of now. These numbers obviously will change throughout the day, so that's why I tell you come back to the site about 2 hours before tip-off. Everything we have there. People have asked for core plays, Fanduel, DraftKings, and value plays. They're all put in our Discord channel, which is in the link in the description below. And in the description is today's article. In that article, we have 3 top, 3 mid, and 3 value picks at each position with our projections out there. So these projections update throughout the day, so that's why I tell you come back before tip-off. We're giving you the keys to start the car in the morning. Hopefully you drive it throughout the day, and you check back getting gas before you go home and lock your lineups in. So looking at this, Thunder versus Pacers. Thunder 6.5 point favorite right now with a 236.5 over under. Kings Bucks. Bucks are only a 1 point favorite, so I think this could be a high scoring game. Let's definitely look at this. 236.5 over under. We've got Jazz versus Celtics. Celtics being a 6.5 point favorite. 232.5 over under. We've got the Rockets versus Spurs. Rockets are actually a 3.5 point favorite. 224. Clippers, Timberwolves. We've got the Clippers as a 6.5 point favorite right now at 218. Grizzlies, Grizz and Wiz. Wizards are actually a 1.5 point favorite, which is terrible because the Wizards give up a ton of fantasy points, just like with Detroit yesterday, and that came through. This is a low over under, but the Wizards give up a ton of fantasy points, and you're going to see that. Them being a favorite's wild to me right now. And then we got the Knicks versus the 76ers. Knicks are a 4.5 point favorite with a 212 over under. So, that being said, we're going to try something new today. If you like it, let me know. If you want it the old way, let me know that as well. So, we're going to go over each position and the plays that we like. These are tournament plays. So, we have cash and tournament options on the website for our cheat sheet. On our cheat sheet, we have each position cash and tournament plays. We have 7, usually 6 or 7 cash plays at each position and 6 or 7 tournament plays, along with some leverage plays, DK tiers, a couple of optimal lineups to start building off of, and then just so many other tools on the website, which you can find under the NBA tab. So definitely go check that out. But that being said, Fred VanVleet, I love him here. I've got him as our number one point guard for tournaments. And again, if you're new to the channel, absolutely do not look at these numbers. They're normally always off. For instance, this has DraftKings VanVleet here at 30th DVP, or offensive rank, or opponents rank against them. On this one, his DVP is actually 20. It's where is it? It's 29th. So it's close, but they're not always on. So this messes up a lot of people. So my number 1 point guard for tournaments today is Fred VanVleet. Number 2 is Amen Thompson. If you kind of just look with his price, 4,900, he's in a great spot here. DVP-wise, it's up there as well. They're on the same team. It's 29th. So if you think the game kind of stays close, you look at Thompson being a cheaper option if you don't want to pay up for VanVleet. Got him there. Number 3 on the flip side of that is Devin Vassell here against Houston. Not the best matchup for him, but I love him there. Number 4 is Damian Lillard. It might shift a little bit just because Giannis is good to go. He's probable for the game, but I still like Lillard. And number 5 is Josh Giddey. I think he's a mid-tier pick here at 5,600. He makes the top 5 for point guards. Now, again, these are just some of the plays. We have all of the plays on the website, all of the projections, all of the rankings, all of the Vegas odds, everything you need to build a perfect lineup on the website. So, shooting guard. Going to the shooting guard position when you're looking through. We've got a lot of people questionable. We've got some big names out already, which this will open up value throughout the day. So with all these questionable tags, value's going to open up somewhere. We got to wait for news to come out. So that's why I tell you, come back later for the value picks. But we've got, if you want, for this again, this is for tournaments, Dylan Brooks, number 1 DVP here, is 15th. So basically right in the middle. Dante DiVincenzo, we've got him at number 2 against Philly. Number 3 is Josh Hart versus Philly. Number 4 is Malik Monk versus Milwaukee. And number 5, depending, again, it's a cheaper option at 4,400, Malik Beasley, even with Giannis in there. So, small forward. Tournament, and we used him the other day. Jake LaRavia. So, in this matchup, underdogs, but Washington gives up a ton of fantasy points. And we look at him, we've used him. His price it's going up a little bit, but again, Ravi has got his DVP here is 26th. So this is kind of what I tell you. It shows 30th here, but DVP is 36th. Number 2 is Lou Dort against Indiana. Wait, is Indiana playing? Oh, they are. Yeah, sorry. You want to get exposure to this Thunder Pacers game because the pace is huge in this one, and usually when Indiana's in a game, except for the other day, one time, it's a very high scoring affair. So Lou Dort in this game, I don't mind to have him number 2 or number 3. Number 4 is a cheaper option, but Bryce Sensabaugh again. So just kind of look at Sensabaugh. Cheaper options. Pretty good. I mean, his numbers, he's still under 5K. We got almost 10 times value, almost 9.99 times value here. A little bit lower here against Denver, but it was a blowout there. If this game stays a little bit close, this could be a good game for Bryce Sensabaugh at 4,700, which I really like. And then number 5 on the flip side, Jason Tatum, just like that. We used him yesterday. Now so again, it is a back-to-back. So be cautious about this, but he's coming off 44.75. He's 9,700 in this game. I really like Jason Tatum to round out my top 5 at the small forward position. So then we go to power forward. A smaller one that is a mid-tier 5,600, Gregory Jackson. There's so many injuries here for Memphis. GG or Gregory Jackson is in a good smash spot. Looking at his DVP, it's 26. Looking at his game logs, coming off 45 fantasy points in 38 minutes. The minutes should be there because everybody else seems to be injured or out. So if you look at that Gregory Jackson might go under the radar for people. I want exposure to him. Number 2 is Porzingis, but he's questionable and he did not play the last game. Could miss this one too, so I'm going to go off of him right now. Jabari Smith here at number 2 against San Antonio. Number 3 is Kyle Kuzma in a game where they're supposed to be up, so we've got some Kuz here. We used him his last game. Now he's got a great matchup against Memphis. He's coming off back-to-back 50-plus games. He's 8,000 for whatever reason. He dropped from 8,300 down to 8,000. We'll take it. We'll absolutely take it. Pascal is another one that I want. Looking at him in his DVP, it's 7th, so it's not the best, but I still like this matchup in a high-scoring game against OKC. Couple of stinker-ish type games, but he's good for 40-plus when it's a good game, which I feel like this one could be a good game. And then I want to round it up with Santi Aldama. Santi Aldama in this matchup, again, we've got to find a lot of this will basically come down to which players are in or out for Memphis, but Santi should see some minutes, should see the time. His price is going up there. Coming off a couple of bad games, I think he'll be under-owned, but again, Washington gives up a ton of fantasy points here. So then we move to the center position. Just looking at what we're looking at, we've got Walker Kessler. If the minutes were there, he's a $4,900 spot here. Coming off of 24, it's about 24, 30, give or take. It is been fluctuating, but he's in a good spot here. The price is perfect at $4,900, going to save you money and be able to pay up for those 2 studs to build your lineup. Number 2 is Sabonis in this game that I absolutely love. So he is 10,400. We locked him in the other night. Went off for 62.75. He's had 3 straight 60-plus games, 3 straight 62-plus games, and they dropped his price down to 10,400. for whatever reason, I really like him. It's just due to the price, Kessler a little bit more, but I mean, you can get in both of these guys in there for the price. Miles Turner's another one. Zubac is another one. Lamar Stevens, I don't know if he's going to play. He is questionable, but Washington gives up the most amount of fantasy points. So he is ill. 12 straight games, increased role. If he plays and he's good to go, he's in a great matchup. I don't look at his past performances. He's 5,100. He's gone up there. But again, Washington, they are very bad against the center position. They're very bad against everybody, which we're going to see right here. So those are my top fives at each position. If you want to see even more with the projections, in the description is that link to today's article where we do have the 3 top, 3 mid, and 3 value picks that you can check out. So that being said, we look at this tool. This tool is right here under NBA, and then NBA points allowed by position. This is one way to build a lineup, not the only way to build a lineup, but I wanted to show you what we've got. So Phoenix gives up the most, but Phoenix is not playing tonight, okay? We've got a total of 7 games. Phoenix is not one of them, so you go down to the next. Utah, they give up the most amount to point guard. Actually, Washington's dropped down just a little bit. It's very close. Utah, 54.9, San Antonio, 54.8, and Washington, 54.7. So it's very close. You can really interchange these lineups. But Utah gives up 54.9. So we look at Utah, and they are playing Boston for point guard. So it could be Derek White. We used Derek White his last game. He went off for 36 fantasy points. He's gone up to 6,900, so I'm a little bit scared of that a little. You've got San Antonio, so you've got Houston, which is Fred VanVleet, which I like, or Amen Thompson, which you could use both. For 7,900, you save just a little bit. And then Washington gives up the fourth most. So you could go Memphis with Goodwin being out. Maybe. He's questionable. He's doubtful ahead of Sunday. Didn't play. So I'm probably not going to go with Goodwin. I'm going to go with Fred VanVleet. I just like VanVleet here. The matchups are so close. I'm okay with that. Then we go to shooting guard. You got Washington gives up the most amount to shooting guard. So you come here. That's Memphis. Vince Williams is out. Goodwin is questionable. Kennard could be a cheaper option. The minutes have been there. He hasn't done anything with them the past couple of games. Against Brooklyn, he did do something with it. So if he gets the start at his price of $5,000, it allows you to pay. We've got Giroux. 1 game, 28 minutes. Let's see. He's 5,200. This is the problem. So Giroux is 5,200. Had 1 game. If he is in there, he should go under-owned, a tournament option. I don't mind. So let's just throw him in there. Again, this is a tournament lineup. We can change. We can mix and match. We can do a lot of things with this lineup. Move to the small forward. You've got Washington. So Washington is, again, they're going to give up a ton. LaRavia, I love LaRavia. I'm going to take exposure here. 5,200. Again, when you build a lineup like this, you can have 6,300 left as an average. Move to the power forward. Utah gives up the most. They give up 52.4. So we are looking back at Boston. Jason Tatum in a good spot. I'm going to take Jason Tatum. Then we get to the center position. It's going to be Walker Kessler. Washington gives up 61. San Antonio gives up 60.2. So Washington or Memphis, it would be, or not Walker Kessler, Lamar Stevens, who is questionable. We're not really sure if he's played. 5,100, hasn't done much. His number has gone up. So let's just take a look at the second one just to see, which is San Antonio, which is Houston center. So Segan is out. He left on a stretcher. Bone bruise, so yeah, ankle sprain, so he is out for X amount of time. Is that going, let's see, Jock Landale or Boban Marjanovic. So Boban's 3,000. What did he do? Yeah, he didn't play much. God, the dude's ugly. Landale. We've got Jock Landale. Minutes were there. He's 40, so they have bumped him up. So obviously if Segan got hurt last night, We're probably looking at 3,300 for Landell, but since he got hurt 2 nights ago, they were able to adjust the pricing. So this would be a tournament option, 4,800. I don't mind that. Now, doing that allows us 5,700 for a guard, a forward, and a utility, which we can really do anything with. But if we want to go with like a guard, we want to look at, we can look at DVP, we can look at value, just depending on what you want to look at. With an average of 5,700, Amen Thompson, again, he's there for San Antonio. Game logs, the minutes have been kind of there. 4,900. We throw him in there. Now we can average 6,100 for a forward. We can average 6,100 for a utility. But this is one that I wanted to talk. Gregory Jackson at 5,600. Now 6,700 for a utility spot allows us a lot of flexibility. And again, you can take this lineup, you can mix and match, you can do whatever you want with it. So you can go anywhere with this one. Jordan Poole, in a game where they're supposed to be winning, the minutes fluctuated. So I'm trying to see, even if we looked at if he's played Memphis this year, it's not going to be the same starting 5 that he faced on defense when they played last time, if they played at all, which they did back on 38.5. He was 8,100. He's now 6,700. So Jordan Poole could be in store for a good game. Malik Monk against Milwaukee. Minutes are there. Pretty good. 6,700. I think I'm going to go with Malik Monk. I like this matchup for him. A close game that should stay. So this is a lineup where I guarantee you didn't have half of these guys in it when you started to build your lineup. So hopefully this is a tournament lineup for you, and this is one I am locking in and ready to go. Let's rock and roll with that. Then we're going to do FanDuel real quick. Basically, they're going to be about the same, a little bit change because the scoring's a little bit different. So yeah, let's take a look. So point guard, we're going against Utah. So let's put the point guard there. Go against Utah, which is Boston. So we are looking at Derek White, if you trust Derek White, okay? We could be looking at Washington. So we could also look at Washington. So we throw Washington in there, okay? Now we're looking at Memphis players here. So we come down to Memphis, Jordan Goodwin being out, Marcus Smart being out, Luke Kennard, maybe. There's not a ton that I like in these two. So again, you don't have to use the top one. You can go down the list here. So if you wanted to go and you wanted to just see like number one, and if you want to just build a lineup using the ones that we liked, Fred VanVleet is in there for me as well. So I'm going to go with Fred here as well. Throw him in there at 8,000. So we look at that. San Antonio gives up the third most. So then Detroit and then Milwaukee. So Milwaukee gives up some. So point guard against Milwaukee, we're looking at Sacramento. De'Aaron Fox could be in store. Malik Monk at 7,800 if you want to save some money. But I'm going to go with De'Aaron Fox. We're going to pay up here for a little bit, and then we're going to try to build that. Hopefully one of those fire lineups. We had a few fire lineups lately. Hopefully this is one of them. So Washington's another one we are looking at. So that's Memphis, shooting guard. Bane being out. Vince Williams being out. That's Giroux here, or Luke Kennard. I'm going to go Giroux again, just the cheaper option here. A cheap option, right? 4,700 right with him. So shooting guard, the second one, kind of just looking. We've got Washington there. Now we've got Utah. So Boston for shooting guard. Jaylen Brown. Derek White at 7,600. Let's put Jaylen Brown because we didn't use him earlier. So now we move to the small forward position. We look at this: Washington, Utah, Toronto, blah, blah, blah. So again, it's the same thing. Washington and Utah. So Boston, it's Boston and Memphis. So it's going to be hard to pay up at 10,000 for Jason Tatum in this build that we have. LaRavia, it's a little bit easier. It's almost half the price. So then we move down here, Atlanta, Sacramento. So Sacramento's the next one on this list. Again, you don't have to do it this way, but it is Milwaukee. So we look at Milwaukee players. Middleton is questionable. Is he in or out? Okay, so 5,800. You can go down to Malik Beasley, save 900 and now we're averaging 6,200, which is perfect. So moving to the power forward position, Utah, Chicago, Toronto, Charlotte. Okay. So Boston is what we're looking at. Boston power forward. Tatum, it's pretty hard to pay up 10,000 right now. So let's just take a look. We'll go to the next one, which is Washington, which is Memphis. So again, Memphis, I feel like Memphis is going to be the number one stack that people are going to go with. So, Jaren Jackson being out, that opens up value, obviously. Santi Aldama, Gigi Jackson. So Gregory Jackson, Gigi Jackson, same person. You could go with Gigi. You could go with Aldama, like I said. Lamar Stevens, he's power forward on this one. You go a lot of different ways with that. So now, with one power forward and the center left, we already know the center is going to be Washington, Spurs. So the center is going to be Memphis at center, which it could be Aldama, is what you could go with. Trey Jameson. The minutes for this dude have been inconsistent, and he hasn't done much with them. So I'm probably off Jameson, 100%. But then you're looking at, so Aldama could be there. Depending who's starting, you could do it that way. Or we could be looking at Houston. Again, this is where Landale will open up. So let's go Landale here. And now power forward, 7,900. We're able to pay for Pascal, Tobias Harris, Jabari Smith, Josh Hart, whichever one you want. So if we were to look at this and you wanted to see which one you felt more confident about, just looking at power forward, we've got Pascal, looking at our database right now. 7th DVP, so not the best DVP for him. We've got Tobias Harris, DVP-wise. He's got 27th in a good spot against a good Knicks team. Jabari is 15th DVP. Josh Hart in that same game is 5th. So I'm going to go right now, Tobias Harris. I'm going to lock it in. That leaves 300 on the table. You can do something with it if you want. You can figure out if you want to go somewhere else with it, but that's where I'm going. This is the lineup I'm going with. This is one lineup, a GPP lineup, not the only lineup. Let's just put that up there. So this is what I've got. Good luck today. Again, we have partnered up with DFS Hero. If you sign up, they're going to give you 15% off, and if you sign up for a month after the trial period, and you use our link, which is in the description, you will get a free month of FTA Plus. If you sign up for the year, we will give you a free year on top of it as well. So that's what I've got. Good luck today, and as always, let's bring home some bacon. Peace!